All right, I was going to do a video probably a couple months back where I went back to Princeton, and I did it, went to go look at the footage, and it wasn't too up to my standards. So it's 4th of July. I don't have anything planned, so I thought, let me take the train to Princeton and redo some video. So a few years ago, I did a couple of Princeton videos. I did one at the cemetery, Princeton University Chapel. There's a Revolutionary War monument in Princeton. And then Morven Gardens. And Morven is actually a museum now, but it was before Drumthwacket, I don't know how you pronounce it, was the governor's mansion in New Jersey. In fact, Drumthwacket, I think it's pronounced, is the current governor's mansion, and very few governors have lived there full time. I know Florio did in the 90s, and I know Mikey Sherrill, they say, moved into the governor's mansion. And I think that's about it. I'm not for certain. But a lot of them either lived there part-time, or they did like Tom Wolfe did when he was governor of Pennsylvania and just commuted from their regular homes. But I think today I am going to walk along Nassau and maybe go to the cemetery. I don't know. I mean, it's hot as hell, so I want to be very careful, not just with battery life, but also with me personally. I think I went up that hill before and it was a pain walking, so I'm going to go straight around this corner. I think I might also see if this one bus route is running to get home, because I do have some cash on me to take the bus, because for those of you that have never seen my last Princeton videos, basically what you could do is from Bucks County, you can get the SEPTA train from Bucks County. You could even do this from Philly. And it's the Trenton line you want. So you get on, if you're in Bucks County, you get on like Cornwalls Heights, Croydon, Bristol, Levittown, or if you're in Philly, just go to Center City, go to like 30th, go to Suburban, and transfer to the Trenton line. So you take that all the way up to the end of the line, which would be Trenton Transit Center. And then you got to take the New Jersey Transit Northeast Corridor up to Princeton Junction, and you take what's known as the Dinky. Now, my buddy at Train Video Productions has a couple of Dinky videos, so I'll put a link to their site in the description. But you know, it's a small little shuttle train that goes from Princeton Junction into Princeton, and it leaves you off right at the campus of Princeton University. I actually want to show you guys this because when I was here in May, I found this and I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. But it's a piece of art. Has all these different animals. I can see a dragon. You know, I actually thought for a moment that this was Princeton University beheading their mascots, but then I saw a horse one and I was like, I don't think they played Rider University. And so I actually found out what this is. These are the animals of the Chinese zodiac. So you got the rooster, the ram, I guess. So yeah, this is part of Princeton University. I know I have a few videos about that. It's like all different buildings, like halls and whatnot, and it's actually kind of interesting. I've never been inside one of these older buildings here, but I have been inside an older building of a college campus because Bucks County Community College, their main campus in Newtown, is on an old estate. And the one building that they have, Tyler Hall, it has, of course, administrative offices, but at the same time, it also has like classrooms. So I was in there a couple of times, but hate that. I've been trying to fix this to where it doesn't squeak that much. And the only way I figured I could was spray some WD-40 in it, and obviously didn't work. But I wanted to take this way because it's a lot more shade, more trees, and you know, that's why I would rather do it this way. Princeton, of course, as everybody knows, has a very long list of distinguished alum. Brooke Shields, Michelle Obama. Actually, funny thing, I mentioned her because I knew a guy from my old neighborhood who he went to Princeton, and he actually went to school with Michelle Obama's brother. And of course, over there, that's a soda so Sotomayor whore. As you know, Sonia Sotomayor is a justice in the Supreme Court. I want to say she's a chief justice, but I forgot how the titling works. But she was appointed to the Supreme Court under Obama, and she's also a Princeton grad. This is very Hogwarty, isn't it? I like that building over there with the castle kind of look to it. Yeah, speaking of that, you know, Taylor Swift put a castle in Madison Square Garden for her wedding. Okay, let me level with you. First off, you're worth a couple of billion. Why the fuck get married in Madison Square Garden? Secondly, why the fuck get married in Madison Square Garden and put a goddamn castle in Madison Square Garden when you can pay to go to, wait for it, a fucking real one? I don't get it, kids. I really do not get it. That's like having a party when you could afford to go to London, England, and putting Big Ben in the venue. So, yeah, I really don't fucking get it. And another thing, I actually got a lot of grief on social media for this, but that $26 million thing that she donated all that money to charities, it doesn't impress me. And I think it's all for show because of one reason. Because it was made public by the charities and by her publicists. Now, before y'all attack me, I work in grassroots. And I will tell you right now, no grassroots organization is gonna do that unless it's a publicity stunt kind of dealio. I mean, unless it's a publicity stunt or it's part of a capital project where they're putting, say, like, let's say it's a hospital and they're putting in like a renovation to a nursing unit or the emergency department. So there is that. Most organizations will just acknowledge the support of their donors and their volunteers. That's my 12 cents, you know, because first off, penny is no more, and inflation. And if you ever wanted to know why they call it Ivy League, there you go. But yeah, here we are. This is Nassau Street. Now, when I was here the last time, it was roughly around the time of graduation. And of course, they have all the different graduating class placards. They haven't put 25 or 26 out yet. I guess they're still working on that. But look at this. Has the names of two distinguished alums, Woodrow Wilson and Sonia Sotomayor. That's kind of cool. And I'm a little dizzy, so I'm going to sit for a moment. But this is, of course, those gates that everybody talks about, where there's actually a legend where if you walk through these gates while you're a student at Princeton, you will probably not graduate. So when I was here, I saw a lot of graduates walking through this gate here. And then, you know, they were getting pictures and everything. But, so I had to make a bit of a quick stop because Call of Nature, and only place I could find was Starbucks. Wow. This is actually has to do with the local history of Princeton. I may have had this on one of my videos from before when I went to Princeton. Alright, so here we are, Princeton Cemetery. Now, one thing though is when I came here a couple years ago and did the last Princeton Cemetery video, they had like a little thing here, like a little box that you could pull guidebooks. Now you gotta scan QR codes. There's a lot of graves here, and it's still used to this day. I have seen headstones from the last 15, 20 years. I even saw one that I think was 2020. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but walking through cemeteries never really bothered me. So I don't know. But you could tell this is an interesting one. This person put a bench there. Now that's common. In my St. James video, I mentioned about the witch's chair. So that's a good example. And you know, so a lot of people do that so people would have a place to sit when they go to visit that grave. So that's why. There's a lot of these very ornate looking things, which I like them. This one's kind of cool. I can't quite make out who it is, but it's kind of cool. Then you got the Rittenhouse family. Wonder if they're connected to the Rittenhouses that you hear a lot of in Pennsylvania. Probably. This I don't remember, but of course you got the old ones. But this, I do not remember seeing this. The Haynes family, the Goyette family. But yeah. And then I'm going to sit here for a moment. Now that right there, this is very common with Asians to have something like that on the back of the headstone, and then on the front would have things written in English. I'm trying to pace myself today because it is hot. I didn't look at the temperature when I was leaving. I just wanted to check my phone real quick too, because I thought my friend was going to call me back, but I'm going to look at AccuWeather real quick if I can. So it's set for Princeton, New Jersey. Look at that, 99 degrees. With the humidity, it's 108. Real feel shade, it says 101. I'm sitting like kind of in the shade, and it's, you know, I can feel a breeze, which I was talking about that with the guy on the Dinky from Princeton Junction, and he said that it's very much cooler, but it's still hot as hell. Okay, I'm not going to walk this entire cemetery because it is too hot. I'm actually gonna also maybe do some more research later on down the road, and one day when it gets kind of cooler, come back up here and do another video. This, oh God, that was a little kid. I mean, she died in 2007 and was born in 2004. But that statue, oh my God. You know, a lot of them do that, like that. Now, you know, people putting like their graduating classes of their school and everything on here, that is wild. I should do that when I graduate, when I die. You know, tell people, put on mine, Rider University, class of 2005. So, but yeah, of course I did tell my niece when I die, I want her to walk up at the grave site and say, first of all, she didn't like half of y'all. See what kind of reaction that gets. Yeah, this is it. This is Grover Cleveland's grave. Now, here, I'll show you this. Now, the Folsoms, they are related to Cleveland. So I just want to throw that out there. Now, right here, Grover Cleveland, born in Caldwell, New Jersey, 1837, died in Princeton, 1908. That's his daughter Frances. Nah, that's Frances Folsom Cleveland Preston, daughter of Oscar Folsom, Emma Hardum Folsom. So, could be a relative. Or that could be the first lady under Cleveland, which would be his wife. Ruth Cleveland. Yeah, Frances Folsom was Grover Cleveland's wife, because right here, Ruth Cleveland, daughter of Grover Cleveland and Frances Folsom Cleveland. Now, Ruth Cleveland is actually the one the Baby Ruth candy bar is named after, because he knew the guy who created the Baby Ruth candy bar, and she died She died at a very young age. She was born in 1891, died in 1904. And then you got Oscar Folsom, Emma Harmon Folsom. So, yeah, you got the whole family, basically. So, little epilogue, if you will. I actually ended up taking the bus back to Trenton. I'm on it right now. Just went past the current governor's mansion, which is kind of cool. And we're coming further out of Princeton. Funniest thing is, this is actually going to take me right by my alma mater rider. So, yeah. So, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I know my face is like a little red, but that's cool. I'll get home, cool myself off. I'll be fine.